On June 27, 1981, Ali Khamenei, then Deputy Defense Minister, was assassinated. At that time, he also served as Friday prayer leader in Tehran and gave a speech at the Abdul Mosque in the southern slums. On the podium, a plain Sony tape recorder was quietly in use. To ensure good audio, security guards moved the tape recorder closer to Ali Khamenei. Little did they know this act brought Ali Khamenei closer to death, for the Sony recorder held a deadly bomb inside. When the speech ended, Ali Khamenei was about to read the stack of questions slips his aide handed him when flames erupted. The blast severely damaged his right arm, shoulder, and lungs, leaving his right hand permanently paralyzed. Yet in this life or death clash, fate still showed twisted mercy none. Due to a flaw, only part of the explosives detonated, and the recorder shifted slightly mid-blast. The deadliest metal shard just missed Ali Khamenei's neck artery. Those notes brimming with pleas for public good were soaked in blood and strewn about. It forged Ali Khamenei's image as one who shares woes with the masses, helping him win Iran's presidency in October with landslide support. After the bloodshed, the IRGC found a taunting note amid the wreckage of a tape recorder reading Shahbaz's gift to the Islamic Republic. Thus, Shahbaz was flagged as the prime suspect by the investigators. Shahbaz was founded in 1976, though its core had just dozens. It was a radical militant group of great danger. A 21-year-old religious student, he claimed to be a true disciple of Ali Shariati, the thinker, viewed Shiite clerics as an exploitative class, parasites corrupting Islam's purity, and called for an Islamic society without clerics. Once Khomeini seized power, Fogan saw him as a far worse tyrant than the Pahlavi dynasty. Since 1979, Shahbaz ruthlessly assassinated key figures of the new regime in over 20 attacks. The victims included Khomeini, head of the Revolutionary Council, Mortaza Motahari, and Mohammad Bagheri, the chief of staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, and later President Rafsanjani. What puzzled security was that, by early 1980, Shahbaz's leader Akbari had been executed, and the group had long since collapsed. Although a Shahbaz note was found at the scene, intelligence agencies deemed it unlikely Shahbaz could have pulled off such a precise assassination during the highly secured period. That note was likely a smokescreen meant to divert attention away. Shahbaz typically used pistols for close-range killings, while MEK excelled in time bombs, recorders, and disguises. MEK stands for the Iranian People's Mujahideen, founded in 1965 by leftist Islam students at the University of Tehran. The roots of its ideology lie in Ali Shariati. MEK sought to blend Islamic teachings with Marxism, advocating secular democracy, gender equality. They waged armed struggle against the Pahlavi dynasty. They supported Khomeini at the Islamic Revolution's start, but later broke with his regime over clerical power monopolies. As the probe deepened, Killer Masood Taqizadeh emerged. This tech professional with an electronics background had once been part of Shahbaz, but had sworn allegiance to MEK long before the incident. Both the disbanded Shahbaz and the MK, locked in bitter combat with the regime, share the same spiritual icon, Ali Shariati. Thus, just before the Islamic Revolution, the late renowned left-wing thinker became the key to unlocking this bloody chapter of history. In November 1933, Ali Shariati was born in Mazainan, Razavi Khorasan province. His father Mohammed Tati was both his mentor and the bedrock of his ideological growth. Though his father was the village religious leader and their family had long been Shiite clerics, he was not a conservative thinker. In contrast, Mohammed Tati was a moderate reformer who sought to blend Islamic teachings with modern social justice. When Ali Shariati was 8 on September 16, 1941, Reza Shah was forced to abdicate and flee abroad, ushering in a relatively freer political climate in Iran with myriad ideologies springing up like mushrooms after rain. 8 days after Reza Shah abdicated, the Tudeh Party was formally founded, claiming to be Iran's sole progressive party, composed of nationalists and liberals from diverse factions. And due to demands from Moscow, the Tudeh Party disavowed communism openly. Regarding the sensitive topic of religion, the Tudeh Party cleverly claimed that most of its members were Muslims and would never clash with religious traditions. To recruit members, the Tudeh Party began work at universities statewide. But since there were no universities in Mashhad at that time, the Tudeh Party focused its recruitment on the 3 local high schools and teacher training colleges there. Thanks to the USSR's intellectual aid and funding, the Tudeh Party's propaganda was highly effective. In 1946, 3 Tudeh Party members joined Iran's cabinet, with Faridun even becoming the crucial minister of the MOE. As the Tudeh Party grew stronger, Ahmad Kasravi, a pioneer of the anti-clerical movement, sought to awaken more Iranians with the light of rationalism. Teachers and students at Mashhad modern schools, educated in modern ways, resented scholastic education, drawn to Ahmadi Kasravi's calls for reason and purer religion. Low-ranking civil servants caught between tradition and modernity saw Kasravi's national unity ideals as a cure for Iran's ills. As the tides shifted, Ali Shariati's father did not stand aside. He founded the Islamic Propagation Center in Mashhad using lectures and writings to craft a religious discourse that could respond to the Tudeh party and the challenges posed by Ahmad Kasravi. Clearly, this family background gave Ali Shariati a critical outlook from birth. He was dissatisfied with the clergy and their detached ritualism and remained wary of secular trends that wholly rejected Iran's religious roots. In 1950, Ali Shariati joined the movement of God-worshipping socialists. This was one of the earliest and most iconic Islamic socialism parties in modern Iran, one of the 6 founding groups of Mossadegh's National Front Alliance. The name of the movement of God-worshipping socialists encapsulates the core of Ali Shariati's early thought, achieving social welfare within the framework of monotheism. During this time, Shariati translated the biography of Prophet Muhammad's companion, Abdul, and portrayed him as the first Islamic socialist. Abdul was one of the most loyal companions, honest, upright, poor, and fearless. He fiercely condemned the elite and wealth disparities under the Ottoman Caliphate, openly denounced the Umayyad clan for hoarding riches via political power, and mocked their greed with the phrase "the fat buttocks of camels." He cried, "Wealth belongs to all Muslims and should not be hoarded by few," and was exiled to Rabada in the desert by Uthman. In 652, Abdul died in solitude and poverty, yet earned great honor in his time. The Sunni call him one of 4 truth bearers. Shiites see him as Imam, staunchest ally of the cause. Even a non-Muslim would see Abdul as the purest egalitarian and patron of the poor in Islamic civilization. By studying Abdul's teachings, Ali Shariati developed an Islamic vision of equality beyond class struggle, laying the groundwork for his later Red Shi'u 2018 Islam theory. In 1955, Shariati enrolled at the newly founded Faculty of Arts at Ferdowsi University of Mashhad, majoring in French and Persian literature. Notably, since he was already a well-known intellectual and activist in the region, his enrollment had a study while working flavor. He actively supported Mossadegh's cause at university and was briefly jailed by the Pahlavi regime. His enlightenment, A.T. Longchang yielded religion should not be puppy to the masses, but a force for liberation. Thanks to his remarkable linguistic and academic talents, he began translating foreign scholarly works into Persian while still a student. Besides his academic success, Ali Shariati fell in love with his classmate, Pao Ran. In May 1958, Ali Shariati wed Pao Ran. Shortly after their marriage, Ali Shariati won a scholarship to study at Sorbonne University in Paris, with Pao Ran joining him. Sorbonne University was founded in the 13th century, France's foremost academic hub, hailed as the intellectual heart of French higher learning. Here, Ali Shariati evolved from a local political activist into a philosopher and sociologist with global vision. Shariati did not fall into full westernization. Instead, he used the Western tools to rediscover Islam's revolutionary potential. He sought guidance from top French intellectuals, including France's foremost Islamologist of the 20th century. A Catholic mystic and pioneer of interfaith talks, Louis Massignon, the founder of Sufism studies in the West and a non-dogmatic Marxist sociologist. Georges Gervich, who sought to blend Durkheim, Max Weber, Karl Marx, and phenomenology. A beacon of anti-colonialism, Jacques Burke, who supported the Arab independence movement. Gervich's dialectical sociology deeply shaped Ali Shariati. It made him believe history is not just shaped by economic forces, but by conscious classes and ideologies. Massinon's work on Islamic Sufism and mysticism, especially his deep insights into Salman Park, helped Ali Shariati fuse Gnosticism with radical politics. He began theoretical bridge, building, reinterpreting theological terms in the Quran through modern sociology. Ali Shariati's most striking political acts in Paris were his veneration of Frantz Fanon and his resonance with Jean-Paul Sartre. Ali Shariati translated Frantz Fanon's The Wretched of the Earth, penned by the 20th century's most influential anti-colonial thinker. On cultural estrangement, the view that anti-colonial struggle must root in national culture became Ali Shariati's central critique of the Pahlavi regime and its westernization policy. He believed Iran's intellectuals were phony Westerners who had distanced themselves from their people. Through Frantz Fanon's ideas, Ali Shariati coined a return to self-concept. This self is not a return to stale religious dogmas of the past, but to an Islam reinvigorated by revolutionary spirit. Meanwhile, Jean-Paul Sartre's existentialism shaped Ali Shariati's focus on personal choice and responsibility. One does not become a Muslim at birth, but by choosing to be one through struggle in history. At this crossroads of diverse ideas, Ali Shariati proposed the Islamic alternative. He argued that in a Cold War bipolar framework, third world nations need not choose between capitalism and communism in an either-or fashion. If Islam is seen rightly as an ideology, not just a religion, it can offer a full framework for equality, justice, and spiritual elevation. In 1964, Ali Shariati earned his PhD full of hope. He resolved to return home and commit himself to intellectual awakening and social reform. He set off with his wife and 3 children in a battered Citroën, heading east from Paris across Europe through Turkey to the Iranian border. Yet, at the Bazargan border, he felt no welcome from his homeland, but instead received a notice from border officials. Sir, you are arrested. Ali Shariati's conduct during his Paris years had long drawn the attention of Iran's SAVAK secret police. Ali Shariati joined the overseas branch of FMI and co-founded the radical journal Persian Monthly, openly criticizing Mohammad Reza Pahlavi's rule, was briefly detained by French police for protesting Algeria's freedom drive. SAVAK knew all these records inside out. Given his family was present, SAVAK did not use extreme violence against Ali Shariati and let his wife and children head to Mashhad first. Sharafati himself was taken straight to Tehran and locked up in the notorious Evin prison. Many key figures in the anti-Pahlavi movement were enlightened within this very jail, such as later Prime Minister Bazargan Ali Shariati was jailed without trial, accused of subversive acts against the monarchy. And most of his time in prison was spent in interrogation rooms, not cells. SAVAK tried to uncover his ties with the FMI's overseas branch during his time in Paris, and whether he had brought subversive orders or funds back with him. During this time, due to pressure from the global academic community and Ali Shariati's renown in Iran, which was confined to intellectual circles, no mass popular movement had formed, so he was freed in early 1965. Of course, his release came without a court acquittal. Some might not care about procedural justice, but for Ali Shariati, it was a major hurdle, because his records were withheld by SAVAK, which later hindered his attempts to secure professorships. Not even his salary payments were assured. Since he was barred from working in Tehran, Ali Shariati returned to his hometown Mashhad and became a history teacher at a secondary school. Though the Pahlavi regime disliked him, his stellar academic record made Ferdowsi University of Mashhad unable to ignore him. Dean of Arts Fayez was a revered scholar who valued Ali Shariati's PhD from the University of Paris highly, felt the faculty needed someone with global views. In that politically tense era, Dean of Arts Fayez personally lobbied MOE and security agencies in Tehran, vigorously stressed that Ali Shariati's scholarly worth outstripped his political risks. After much effort, Ali Shariati finally joined Ferdowsi University of Mashhad as a history lecturer. At Ferdowsi University of Mashhad, Ali Shariati played a unique role as a bridge between students and modern ideas. His lectures were highly provocative, often discarding dry syllabi to weave sociology, history, and literature into sharp critiques of contemporary politics. His series of lectures were later compiled as Islamology, signaling his effort to frame Islam as a modern revolutionary ideology. On January 21, 1965, Iran's Prime Minister Mansour was assassinated. On April 10th, the Marble Palace assassination attempt occurred. A royal guard, Shamsabadi, fired a machine gun at Pahlavi the king was unharmed, but the assassin was killed on the spot. This showed that Iran's opposition was growing more radical in its fight against the Pahlavi dynasty. Ali Shariati remarked, "Simple assassinations are futile. The true challenge lies in shifting people's minds. If society is not mentally or ideologically ready, any regime change could spell disaster." Ali Shariati's ideas were deeply compelling, drawing in young people from the secular left over time, provided them with religious legitimacy to challenge the Pahlavi regime. Though his lectures were wildly popular among students, he faced immense criticism. Mashhad is a Shiite holy city, and conservative clerics loathed Ali Shariati fiercely, deemed him a heretic in a suit who modeled sacred teachings and urged his dismissal. On the other hand, he frequently used Marxist terms in his speeches, such as class struggle and dialectics. Agents of the Pahlavi regime began calling him Islam. Marxists believed Ali Shariati was creating an uncontrollable ideological base. So once 1970 came, the authorities began restricting his teaching and barred large public lectures. Pressure from the MOE barred him from teaching at universities. Just as he faced a speechless plight, the Hussein Ershad Research Institute in Tehran invited him to teach. The Arshad Institute was founded in the early 1960s, ostensibly a religious and cultural site, honoring Imam Hussein, a modern think tank aimed at the intellectual class. Interdisciplinary talks on history, society, politics. It became a spiritual haven for Iran's educated, middle-class youth and a true revolutionary hive. In June 1971, Ali Shariati left Mashhad and began his most illustrious teaching career at the Arshad Institute. Proposed the groundbreaking Red Shiism ideology. Its core tenet stated, Red Shi'u 2018, Ism embodies Ali 2019 seconds. Shi'u 2018, Ism Islam of resistance, justice, and martyrdom. It draws from the Prophet and his king's struggle, stressing Muslims' resistance to worldly oppression. Ali Shariati redefined martyrdom, shifting it from a tragic sacrifice to an active choice and a tool of revolution. In contrast to Red Shi'u 2018 ism, stands Black Shia, symbolizing the institutionalized, ritualized Shi'u 2018 ism since the Safavid dynasty. Ali Shariati condemned how this religion was monopolized by clerics and became a tool for the ruling class, teaching people passivity, mourning, and submission to reality. The clash of red and black was potent, as it directly challenged the legitimacy of most clerics in Iran at the time, labeling them as Black Shia enforcers who aided in oppressing the masses. Building on Red Shi'u 2018, Ism Ali Shariati redefined core Shi'u 2018 theological concepts. Regarding waiting for Imam Mahdi's return, he advocated an active stance. True believers should not stand idly by. They must advance social justice to hasten the Imam's return. He framed Ijtihad as a tool for sustained revolution, arguing it should not rest with conservative clerics, but be wielded by awakened intellectuals. His most radical claim was that Shiite is a full-fledged party. He viewed Islam not just as a set of personal beliefs, but as a structured force with a rigid ideology, mobilization power, and clear goals. Overall, his speech at Hoseinaya Arshad served to train cadres and mobilize ideological support for future revolutions. Within Ali Shariati's intellectual framework, alongside grand political narratives, lies the fictional theory of mind steeped in mysticism. Ali Shariati argued that without deep inner life, a revolutionary becomes a cold machine. Ali Shariati saw gnosis, justice, freedom as the core values of the Islam Trinity. True Islam, he stressed, is the union of awakening, personal freedom, and social justice. Mysticism is not to flee the world, but to gain the unyielding strength to face oppression. He saw Sufism's fanan as full devotion to collective causes and missions. This deep tapping into religious fervor led young people who once cared little for politics to revere Ali Shariati as a revolutionary icon and follow him to the ends of the earth. Each lecture by Ali Shariati drew thousands of young students and intellectuals. Even the streets outside were packed with folks listening via loudspeakers. Tapes were mass copied. This unstructured mass movement caused the Pahlavi regime great alarm. To SAVAK, it clearly counted as a pro-revolution gathering aimed at toppling the Pahlavi regime. Ironically, the forces pushing for closure came not just from the Pahlavi regime, but also from traditional fundamentalists. Some senior clerics complained to SAVAK that Ali Shariati was spreading Marxism draped in an Islamic mask and urged the state to purge this nest of heresy. As Iranian urban guerrillas grew more active, the Pahlavi regime began linking Ali Shariati's ideas directly to violent revolution. Though Ali Shariati never publicly called for armed struggle, the regime saw his ideas as the spiritual breeding ground for all radical movements. 1972 was the year following Pahlavi's Persian Empire 2500th anniversary celebrations. The Shah believed his regime was at its peak, so overconfident that he tolerated no dissent whatsoever. On the afternoon of November 17, Ali Shariati was preparing to give a talk on faith and science. SAVK suddenly moved, blockaded the institute, and barred crowds from entry. Those who had entered were forcibly evicted, and seals were placed on the institute doors. Since Hoseinaya Arshad was the last legal venue where modern Islam and social justice could be openly discussed, so the supporters on site clashed briefly with SAVK in the area. Ali Shariati went underground and went into hiding. To force Ali Shariati to emerge, SAVAK arrested his elderly father, stating that as long as Shariati did not surrender, his father would not be released. Meanwhile, many of his close friends and family were detained. Ali Shariati could not bear his father's plight. After nearly 10 months in hiding, he walked into SAVAK's office. Once Ali Shariati was jailed in Tehran's Komate prison, Algeria, where he had championed independence, came to his aid first. As a third world, anti-colonial and Islamic leftist, Algeria directly demanded Pahlavi release Ali Shariati. Jean-Paul Sartre, Michel Foucault, and Iranian exiled scholars jointly petitioned for the release of the symbol of Islamic intellectual freedom. While in detention, Ali Shariati's lectures, recordings, and writings spread in secret in Iran, with longer imprisonment strengthening his image as a martyr. And since the United States had begun urging Iran to improve human rights, the Pahlavi regime did not want to strain the special father-son bond between United States and Iran by detaining Ali Shariati. In March 1975, Ali Shariati was released from prison, and the Pahlavi regime published a series of articles signed in his name. Those essays toned down past sharp critiques and even praised the White Revolution in some ways. Whether this was Ali Shariati's ideological shift or a tactical move, under pressure is hard to tell now. From the moment he was freed, he was effectively housebound and under close surveillance. He claimed to be free yet troubled. In the end, he chose to make a hijrah like Prophet Muhammad and leave Iran. Since Ali Shariati was a top name on SAVAK's block list, he could not obtain a passport in his true identity. Luckily, Ali Shariati is a title. His birth certificate lists his surname as Mazinani. He used this gap to apply for a passport under Ali Mahdaviani. The SAVAK record system was not fully networked back then, and the passport officers failed to link that name to the famed revolutionary thinker. Ali Shariati succeeded and got a valid exit visa. On May the 16th, Ali Shariati arrived alone at Mehrabad Airport in Tehran, trembling as he passed customs. But SAVAK was mainly watching for Ali Shariati, and he presented Makanani's name. And he had changed his hairstyle and his attire. Customs let him pass through. To fool SAVAK, Ali Shariati first flew to Brussels, stayed there for days, and then headed to London upon reaching the UK. He went to Port City, Southampton, and stayed in an apartment his friend rented. He planned to resume teaching in the UK and compile his seized lectures from Hossein-i Arshad into a book. No one had foreseen that. 3 weeks later, on June 19, 1977, in the morning, Ali Shariati was found collapsed at the flat's threshold, already dead. The United Kingdom hospital autopsy stated the cause was a heart attack, yet in the revolutionary climate of Iran at the time, nearly everyone believed SAVAK had poisoned him. After his death, the Pahlavi regime reversed its stance and hailed Ali Shariati as a patriotic thinker, devoted his life to Iran and Islam, seeking to recast him from revolutionary to patriot, allowed Tehran and Mashhad to hold large public mourning events, and declared that a state funeral would be held once Ali Shariati's remains were brought back to Iran. Yet Ali Shariati's supporters and family refused to serve as tools for the Pahlavi regime. Under the coordination of Musa al-Sadr, head of Lebanon's Supreme Shiite Council, Ali Shariati's remains were sent to Damascus and buried at the Sayyida Zainab Mosque. This mosque honors Zainab Hussein's sister, also known as David. The woman who clung to truth after Hussein's martyrdom and spread news of the Karbala massacre is buried here. This signified that Ali Shariati's ideas had transcended borders and become a symbol of anti-oppression struggles across the Middle East. On Ali Shariati's tomb are etched his famous words from a speech at the Arshad Institute: "Those who perished fulfilled Hussein's martyrdom. Those who survived must carry forth Zainab's mission, else one would align with the tyrant Yazid I." Ali Shariati was a tragic hero indeed. His death just before the revolution spared him from confronting the harsh and complex systems that clashed with his ideals after its success. The Islamic society he sought, free of clerical rule, just and equal, never came to pass after the Islamic Revolution, giving way instead to new authoritarianism and strife. Ali Shariati's life was steeped in clashing dualities. He was modern yet traditional, a rigorous sociologist, and a fervent mystic at heart. His Islamic utopia, it was largely an evolving process, not a rigid or fixed blueprint. The greatest legacy he left to Iran and the Islamic world, not a concrete political plan, but a spirit bold enough to challenge dogma with modernity and resist materialism through spirituality. Just like his idol, Abdul Ali Shariati, eventually died in exile and solitude. But the texts and thoughts he left, like the candle he compared to, lit the dark for Fulan, the souls of an entire generation of Iranians, which turned to blazing flames in the Islamic Revolution that reshaped the world, forever lighting the path of justice and freedom.